Welcome to the quarter moon reading for this week. Got some beautiful cards here today, and depending on who you ask, some say it's the Cancer quarter moon, some say it's the Leo quarter moon. I don't really know the mathematics behind it, but it's in that vein of energy of Cancer and Leo. And so, but it's interesting that I got these like cool blue cards and water cards in order, like on this Cancer Leo cusp. So we've got the turquoise card, which says spiritual empathy at the bottom. We've got the Mother of Cups and the moss agate card. And so I'll start with the Mother of Cups. She is this beautiful swan, and I like how her wings are positioned in this card because it's like directing the energy, and it's also protecting this cup that she has. So she has, her cup is full. The Mother of Mother of Cups is a water element card, so it's speaking to this fullness in your emotional realm and understanding of your own emotional realm and understanding the potency behind when you do know your emotions. When you direct them, you can really make stuff happen in your life. That's again, I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again, manifesting, it starts at the base level with your emotions and where you're putting your emotions. So this card, though it is a feminine receptive card, it's also one of the more active feminine cards of understanding that when I direct my emotions into a direction, that's how the universe knows to bring that back around to you. So this is signaling this idea that we have become in tune with our emotions, like on a global scale. I think that we're more becoming in tune with our emotions, and we're more understanding of how our emotions dictate so much of what we do and so much of the choices that we make and how we choose to heal ourselves versus continue the same patterns. So this is really taking stock and ownership of your own emotions, and then understanding that when you know your emotions, you can transmute them, and you have the choice to choose something better that can be more fulfilling and more healthy for you, hopefully, you know. And then moving on to this turquoise card, spiritual empathy. And so it's a baby blue card, so we're talking like this blue, the throat chakra, but also crown chakra with the white. So, and when I think of spiritual empathy, I think of the way that I interact with my spirits is not that I'm going to, like, my spirits are never going to allow me to be just a pushover, as I have been in my past when I wasn't working with them so tightly. And because to have spiritual empathy, your spirits aren't going to guide you into a situation that is dangerous for you, assuming that you're working with the spirits that are for yours and everybody else's highest good. Your spirits have incentive to lead you to where what is going to be most beneficial for you and for the world around you. And so to have spiritual empathy, to me, is something that doesn't include just having like endless wells of empathy despite how you're being treated, despite how you're being oppressed, despite how maybe you're being abused or like walked over in some way. To have spiritual empathy with a person is to know how to draw your boundaries effectively and safely and clearly, so that you're not being taken advantage of or abused or in a toxic situation in any way. Because if you love somebody and you respect them, then you're going to want the best for them and vice versa. And so if you're wanting the best for them and they're wanting the best for you, then you're in a good, like, spiritually empathic, connective situation. If people are disrespecting you, or they're disrespecting your time or your energy, you have the right to remove yourself from that situation and to say, hey, we're only going to connect, and I'm only going to be able to give you what you're able to give me, and anything above that, I can't really afford the energy because I got to dedicate it to my health, my well-being, and my connection to my spirits. So spiritual empathy is a level of empathy that is really clear about what you need in order to feel respected, and how you can contain yourself and put a boundary around yourself. Blue is often referred to as a protective color. So to give yourself some psychic protection is to like imagine blue around you, like blue in your aura field, like basically this egg that exists around you, that's your electromagnetic energy. And then your throat chakra, to be very clear, is the how you direct your will, how you direct what it is that you want to communicate with the world, and your creative energy, and all of your other chakras are expressed through your throat chakra. And so to have this be guided by the higher spirits can make choices way easier for you. You're not just being led by your ego, you're being led by the spirits and what is for the highest good of all of us. And so really think about that. Think about your boundaries. Think about what it is that you need to feel safe and protected, and how you can communicate that more effectively on a day-to-day level, so that you don't walk around feeling drained or feeling like you're not expressing, or you're able to express yourself. If you're in a situation where you're not able to express yourself in a way that makes you feel safe and comfortable, then you really got to rethink that situation that you're in. And this last card, the moss agate card, this is a stone that apparently like vibrates at a lower level, so it's not like a super intense stone, but what it is to help you, guide you into this new situation, like whatever it is, whatever seeds you're trying to sow, whatever fears that you're trying to overcome. This is a stone that can kind of help you figure out what the baby steps are to make those better choices for yourself, and how to relinquish the fears and the anguishes and the anxieties that are stopping you from getting to where it is that you're trying to go. What's some other stuff that I wrote down about this card? Yeah, releasing old fears and connecting yourself with the world around you. So everybody's always talking about how important it is to get out in nature and get your feet in the dirt or whatever. And some people have more time and access and privilege in order to utilize that than others. But like I was telling my friend today, we can't, particularly people that are like oppressed and like constantly being battered down by society the way that it is today, we can't just rest on the scarcity mindset that we don't have time or energy or whatever to go do the things like being out in nature. We can't just like allow only privileged, rich, wealthy, white people to be able to enjoy nature when we have just as much right and just as much, I mean, particularly here in California, we have a lot of availability to like tap into nature, whether it's just like walking outside and like hanging out with a tree for a second or something. Like any little bit counts. Just really, because connecting yourself with nature reminds you of how you are intrinsically connected with everything on this earth, and ultimately that's one of the most healing things that you can do for yourself. So it's really important that you remember that you're a part of this larger bioorganism that is the earth, and how that can actually make your whole life better, because then you understand the idea of sharing, you understand the idea of mutual aid, you understand why it's important to find ways to work together instead of trying to battle amongst your community while these wealthy people are utilizing all of these tools and helpful things for their healing. Like, we deserve some healing too. We deserve to get out into nature and making those types of things a priority for us. And so I would really like challenge people to take these baby steps, whatever it is, however you can do it, to just like find some way of understanding that you are a part of nature, nature is a part of you, and you're a part of this larger world, and that we can make and imagine a different world that isn't so stressful and so driven by scarcity and so driven by the capitalist mindset of like productivity over everything and profit over everything. We have to get down to the basics. We have to get down to how our body is made cellularly of the same stuff and atomically of the same stuff as the entire world around us, and this differentiation between humans versus everything else has to end. We don't have time or luxury for this kind of bullshit anymore. We really need to imagine a world that is better. And I think that just as we have done so much harm to the world in like a couple hundred years worth of time, I think that we can just as easily turn it around if we dedicate time and energy to trying to turn it around, imagining something different than this white supremacist, capitalist, patriarchal world that we live in right now. So I would like us to like start thinking about what seeds we want to be planting in order for our world to be a better place, and to be really cognizant of where we're expending our emotional energy and how we can protect our emotional energy, and how we are communicating and working with the spirit and trying to do what's best for ourselves and for our boundaries, and to be empathetic even with people that may have harmed us or may continue to harm us. It's like, if that is what you choose to do, if you choose to continue harming, then I am not going to, I have spiritual empathy for you, but that doesn't mean that I have to give you my energy in any way. You can find your energy elsewhere, and I am going to protect my energy, because that's what this card is all about. Communicating yourself effectively, drawing the boundaries that are necessary to protect your energy. So with that, I wish you all the best of luck. Protect your emotional energy and care for yourself. And I look forward to seeing you next week.